Hello and welcome to It's Free IP. I'm your host Felix Chaplin, and today's video is about an album that was brought to my attention by someone who donated to me on Ko-fi. The album in question is called Polygondwanaland, and it's by a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Now I must say that King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is a very fun name to say, but the guy who told me about this album was under the mistaken impression that it was in the public domain. It is actually not. However, it is pretty close. This album is actually copyrighted under a Creative Commons license. More specifically, the Attribution and No Derivative Works license. This means that you're more or less free to use this album in any way you want, as long as you give credit to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for making the album, and you don't make derivative works from it. Now, everyone has different musical taste, and I've listened to this album a few times to give it a few chances, because maybe it didn't really hit on the first time, but it's not really my cup of tea. But hey, like I just said, everyone's music taste is different, so maybe someone in my audience will like it, and because I can, I'm going to include the entire album in this video. Here is Polygondwanaland by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
inching closer each century. Crumbling castle, waters rising up, big and green. Crumbling castle, are we safe in our citadel?
prodigious and mortal. But our vessel was invulnerable. It was well built. The boat rocked me into sleep, and I floated through a deep dream, smooth sailing through the castle in the air.
Peaceful with the robots and the story about tiny eyeballs pop at my feet. I walk the streets, only supreme. Can see all that has been, all that believe that I is free. I am nobody. Tetrachromancy.
That's all the time we have for today's video. Did you like this album? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like this video, share it with the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard fans in your life, go to the Ko-fi link in the description to give a donation and maybe suggest some video ideas, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you won't miss what comes next from It's Free IP.